In the jet age, technology advances rapidly. To be on the cutting edge, pilots and planes must adapt, trying to gain the advantage in the air. This sometimes leaves pilots at a disadvantage, as their planes barely keep up. It takes a certain kind of pilot with a certain set of skills to survive against planes that outmatch them. Now, with advanced computer graphics, you're in the cockpit of an F-86 Sabre as it fights Outmatched. Experience the battle, dissect the tactics, relive the dogfights. It is a clear day as Lunar Republic pilot Ira Legoman takes off from Area 88. Today, he is flying the F-86 Sabre named MiG Mad Mare. The mission is simple: to destroy any enemy planes in the area. The F-86 was introduced in the early 1950s to combat the Soviet MiG-15s over North Korea. Its swept-back wings were revolutionary, allowing for faster flight compared to straight wings of propeller-driven aircraft. As speeds got faster, it became harder to use the plane's elevators. The F-86's E model introduced the all-flying tail, where the entire horizontal stabilizer moves up and down. This new tail design was a great improvement in maneuverability over the MiG-15, and wouldn't be seen on Soviet fighters until the MiG-19. The F-86F model introduced the fixed-edge 6'3" wing, with the wing increased 6 inches at the wing root and 3 inches at the wing tip, and removal of the leading-edge slats. This greatly improved its high-speed agility. It is powered by the upgraded General Electric J47 engine, capable of producing 5,790 pounds of thrust, and allowing it to reach speeds up to 687 miles per hour. MiG Mad Mare is an F-2 model of the F-86. The F-2 replaces the Sabre's normal armament of 6 Browning M3 50 caliber machine guns, with 4 FMC T-160 20mm cannons, an early addition of the effective and highly used M39 cannon. The T-160 is a revolver-type, gas-operated, belt-fed, electrically fired weapon. It has a much higher rate of fire and much faster muzzle velocity compared to the M3 50 caliber Brownings. These improvements to the F-86 Sabre made it highly effective against the MiG-15, but today it will be outmatched by 2 evolutions of the MiG-15. At 20,000 feet, Legoman spots a contrail in the distance. He points his nose towards the climbing bandit. The bandit crosses to his right and starts to dive. He turns to follow. He is still too far out to engage. The bandit is now far below him and he spots a white cone, a telltale sign that the bandit just went supersonic. He is outmatched in speed. He pursues anyway, diving on the bandit, reaching a speed of 736 miles per hour. The bandit then climbs. Legoman pulls out of the dive, points his nose towards the bandit and follows it into the climb. He squeezes the trigger for 2 short bursts, but they fall behind. It is here that Legoman sees the bandit he is engaging, a MiG-19. The MiG-19 is the second evolution of the MiG-15. Introduced after the Korean War, the MiG-19 primarily saw combat in Vietnam. It is armed with 3 30mm autocannons, 1 in the chin and 2 in the wing roots. With a fire rate of up to 1,000 rounds per minute, a single 2-second burst of 90 shells could impact with 81 pounds of lead. The MiG-19 is powered by 2 Tamansky RD-9B afterburning turbojet engines, reaching speeds of Mach 1.35. The newer MiG-19 outmatches the older F-86 in both speed and armament. Lego Man starts to black out as he pulls 8 Gs. The MiG-19 soars right overhead. Recovering from the blackout, the MiG is right below him, but Lego Man hasn't pulled out of the climb. He yanks the plane around trying to get back onto the MiG-19-6 as it dives below. As he brings his plane around, he notices another bandit coming up to meet him. Lego Man turns into him for a head-on. Letting loose a long burst, he rolls to maneuver around the incoming cannon fire. He sees the shape of a MiG-17 pass by. The MiG-17 is the direct successor to the MiG-15 and led to the development of the MiG-19. Introduced in October of 1952, it never saw combat over Korea, but it was extensively used during the Vietnam War. The MiG-17's design improved upon the combat lessons from the MiG-15. The MiG-17 is powered by the same Klimov VK1 turbojet engine as the MiG-15, a reverse-engineered version of the British Rolls-Royce Nene engine. The Klimov VK1 produces 5,401 pounds of thrust. The MiG-17's smaller frame boasts a slightly faster speed of 692 miles per hour and better turn time compared to the F-86. It is armed similar to the MiG-15, two 23 and a 37mm autocannon mounted in the chin. It can also carry the Vimpel K-13A infrared air-to-air missile, a reverse-engineered copy of the AIM-9B Sidewinder. The MiG-17 outmatches the F-86 due to its smaller frame and ability to carry air-to-air missiles. Lego Man pulls hard into a climbing left turn, trying to turn back around onto the MiG-17. The MiG-17 pulls up to loop back. Lego Man continues the turn to meet the inverted MiG-17 for another head-on. He lets loose a burst of 20mm cannon fire. .20mm rounds rip off the MiG-17's right wing. Smoke pours from the plane as it spirals out of control and passes by, plummeting towards the ground. This is Ira Lego Man's first kill of the day. But there is no time to celebrate. There are still enemies in the air. Turning back to the right, now at 20,000 feet, he dives towards the chaos below. Below 10,000 feet, he notices a new bandit crossing below him. It's another MiG-17. Lego Man turns to engage, but decides to leave it, as ahead of him, another bandit is on the tail of an ally. Punching the throttle, he chases after it, at a speed of Mach 0.9. The ally, an F-105 Thunder Chief, pulls up and away. The bandit gives up the pursuit now that Lego Man is on its tail, and begins to climb. Lego Man gets a good view of the bandit he is chasing. With a distance of half a mile, he sees the bandit. It's the MiG-19 from before. The MiG-19's twin afterburning engines easily outperforms the F-86's, enabling it to climb higher and faster, gaining an altitude advantage. Climbing after the MiG in the vertical, Lego Man realizes he is losing speed fast and in danger of stalling, becoming an easy kill for the MiG-19. He rolls inverted to loop back down. The MiG-19, safely far above Lego Man, pulls inverted to dive onto him. Lego Man struggles as he tries to pull the plane to follow. Tracking the MiG-19 as it flies below him, Lego Man spots another bandit coming to engage him. It's the second MiG-17. Lego Man disengages from the MiG-19 and puts the 17 in his sights. He lets loose a cannon burst before pulling off to the right. The MiG-17 fires its 23 and 37mm cannons as it flies right by him. Reversing back to the left, he sees there are two MiGs maneuvering behind him. Lego Man keeps a hard left turn, pulling 6 Gs. Trying to maneuver around Lego Man, the MiG-19 instead dives to engage the F-105. Unfortunately, the MiG-19 and the F-105 collide into each other. Maintaining the hard left turn, Lego Man chases the remaining MiG. Experiencing 8 Gs as he pulls to follow, he is not able to get a shot lined up and continues the turn. Lego Man fights through the blackout, tracking the MiG now below him. He rolls to follow, experiencing another 8 Gs. The MiG straightens out, trying to run. Lego Man follows. The MiG-17 is here, just over half a mile from Lego Man, and gaining distance. Lego Man is here. He has the altitude advantage, but is losing the MiG. Lego Man will put the MiG at his 1 o'clock low. This will allow him to turn into the MiG if it tries to turn north for home. Just then, the MiG breaks left, but it's not running home. Lego Man rolls over left, pushing the plane into a dive. He lets loose a burst, but the MiG streams on by. Lego Man pulls left and reverses right, trying to get on the MiG 6 o'clock. They cross paths and begin as scissors. Lego Man starts to black out in the high G turns, firing his cannons at the MiG whenever he can. They maneuver so close to the ground that terra firma fills Lego Man's view. The newer MiG-17 should be outmaneuvering the older F-86, but the Sabre sticks to the MiG's tail. It is an amazing display of aerial acrobatics. The MiG-17 rolls to reverse right, opening its air brakes, trying to make the F-86 overshoot. Lego Man cuts his turn and pulls up. He fires. 20mm rounds rip through the MiG's left wing, cutting it in half. The MiG-17 spirals out of control, smoke billowing from the cut wing. Lego Man continues his right turn. The stricken plane fires its guns defiantly, stopping as a fireball erupts on the ground. Having scored 2 kills, Lego Man is now low on ammunition. He turns back home. Within a matter of minutes, Ira Lego Man engaged 3 enemy planes which outmatched his own. However, Lego Man was able to outmatch them using his superior skill, downing 2 of them without a single scratch to his plane. This battle demonstrates that in the hands of a skilled pilot, an inferior plane cannot be outmatched.